Is everything important politically? No, because lots of politics is a load of bullshit. But what's important is social politics. It's like politics that has to do with the well-being of people. That's important. But there's we don't believe in we're not political as a band. We're more about social issues, and unfortunately that gets intertwined with politics. So it's a long-winded answer to your question.
The reality is you can't run away from politics.
No.
There are politics wherever you go. There are politics in this pool. There are politics at work. There are politics everywhere. So yeah.
But politics are not what we care about. We care about human beings, and so the relation that politics has to human beings, and the way human beings live in squalor and poverty. If politics is related to that, then yes, politics is important to us. I think as an artist, our belief is as artists we have a certain responsibility
or obligation
to the people we play to be conscious about our environment, and music today is full of so much crap and irrelevance. Music is an incredible medium to communicate to people and to talk about the issues that we live with. So I think music is very important in that light.
False values and like things that are represented out of real. I don't know, loads of the hip hop artists, what they represent is not how they live. But in the videos that is represented, and that's, I don't know, that's just not right in a way. So there is a social obligation from the artist to the listener, to the general public, because of the influence they have over the thoughts as well as other things on the public.
I think as much as companies have social responsibilities, ours is even more powerful in the sense that we believe it's a social obligation, not a responsibility, it's an obligation. And the power that music has, I think it's you need to do something with it, and that social responsibility or obligation is just part of it as well.
Especially coming from a place like not just Africa but South Africa, where we've seen hardship and we've seen injustice right in front of our faces, and to not be conscious about that, and to not actually be affected by that and say things. In a lot of Western countries, people are quite isolated from the drama in the world because those countries are very stable. So things that they do within those countries, whether it's buying like cheap clothing or whatever it is, have an impact on people across the world. We're the people it's had an impact on. We are the people who capitalism and consumerism have had an impact on. We see that every day, and so for us not to comment on those kind of things, that's who we are as people. We're conscious people. We can't not comment about what goes on around us because that's who we are. How can you be blind to poverty and starvation and disaster? How can you be blind to that?
So if there were foundational ideas, 3 or 4 or 5 foundational ideas that you're trying to bring across in the group, what would they be?
Definitely like racial harmony, like tolerance, mixing different colors, different cultures, accepting that the world will one day be brown, and we all just need to get over ourselves, and embracing the different cultures. What else? Like that starvation is not acceptable in a world where we have, obesity is a big issue, that people still starve. That's fucked up, So that is, what else? One of the biggest things for me is the right to safety. Like as a human being, we forget of, we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but the right to safety isn't actually on there. But as human beings, we should be allowed to feel safe, not feel threatened by another human being. So right to safety is also important. That's 3. What do you say? 5?
Fun.
Yeah. To have fun, yeah, absolutely. We're not just all about being serious. We're guys who like to have a jaw and have fun as well.
Look at us.
Yeah, it's the balance. We'd have played in the pool, bro. They allowed us.
If someone were to come up to you in the street and say, yes, you make music, you're a band, and you do all this kind of thing, and there are all these things associated with making music and rock and roll and bands, but do you still, if you had the power of, say, a Bono or a Gelman, is it important as a musician, as somebody who has the ear of a certain group of people to say something.
Is it important? It's essential.
Absolutely. It's key.
I don't know. Again, it goes back to social responsibility, social obligation. If so many people listen to you, it's a big power, yeah. I mean, not us, but Bono. If whatever he says, or Jay-Z or somebody, if Jay-Z would say like drop all the guns and things like that, I reckon like 60% of people would like actually listen to him. You know, like if I do rate Jay-Z, I love his music and everything, but he's probably a bad example. But if every musician, every hip hop artist in the world would go like, listen, abolish guns and things like that, he would have a massive impact. He could change that. I mean, they can change votes.
Some artists don't feel like it, you know. Some artists feel like I just make music and I make what I feel and I don't really care, and that's fine because there's an area for party music. There's an area for music that has very little meaning and people just want to dance to. Like if you listen to electronic music, there's no lyrics in it, so it's vibe music. But there's also like there's a real lack of artists who have anything to say. I mean, most artists these days have fuck all to say about anything, and for us that's apathetic. Because when you're an artist that's successful, you do have the power to change the world, and the world is in a dark place. There are lots of issues. So if you have that power, why not use it? And it's not about preaching or like forcing things down people's throats. You know, it's about leading by example. It's about making a difference to yourself so that people follow that example.
You said the world's in a dark place. Is there an optimism to be found?
Of course. Just look around you, you know, in big cities and in big conglomerates, people get lost. We live in a place, you know, in a beautiful place, you know, we're in a swimming pool where the stars are about to come out. So, and you live in beautiful natural environments, your soul connects with the planet we live in. But when you live in big cities that are detached from that, you become detached. So there are lots of people in this world that are detached from what it means to be human, but there are lots of people that are attached to what it is to be human, and that's where the optimism is. You know, we have a line in one of our songs like, happiness can exist in poverty. The world doesn't all have to be rich for there to be happiness. Everyone doesn't have to have a plasma screen and drive a Mercedes for there to be happiness. You know, it's about being content with what you have, and we've lost that ability to be content with the small things, which is about being human. Being in a pool with the 3 oaks that I play music with, or 2 of them, the rest are out, and having a jaw. That's what it's about, bro. You know, it's about being human. You know, and that's what we've lost. You know, we've lost.
I mean, poverty is quite relative as well. Because
Sure.
10 years ago, what people considered as being poverty now is not poverty. You know?
No, sure.
Like, I mean, the whole value of money has changed so much that, like, I don't know, it's getting a little bit unrealistic in a way.
Who should listen to Trenton and Free Radical?
Everybody. The irony is we never set out with a mission to hit a certain LSM or a target. But it's funny because like some of our tracks, like we get friends of ours, all of us have had it phoning us going, my 4-year-old kid is jumping around like a maniac to your track. And then we get calls going, my granny is also jumping around like a maniac to your track. And we're like, that's amazing. We're just blessed to be making the kind of music we're making and people are vibing it. So everybody hopefully digs what we do. You know?
Yeah, I mean, my little cousin who comes from a remote area in Limpopo was sitting in one of our rehearsals last week.
Yeah.
And he was really stoked. He was like, this is really good music. And like, that's not what he's used to at all, but he really just enjoyed the music. I wish it was.
Cool.
Whoever likes our music should enjoy it. Like, there's no...
Whoever likes our music, enjoy it.
Okay, whoever likes music, enjoy it.